Today, I'm here to ask for your support and adopt House Resolution 23. This resolution urges the governor and the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services to lift the ban on certain high school sports and allow play to resume immediately. COVID has disrupted the lives of people in Michigan and across the world. School closure, in particular, have had devastating impacts on students. They are struggling with academic challenges and the lack of social and emotional benefits provided by sports and in classes. The simple truth is state government should be helping our children through the situation, not making it worse. The chaos of the pandemic has been hard on everyone, but especially the kids in Michigan. Most recently, winter sports like wrestling, competitive cheer, and boys and girls basketball were suspended and won't be able to play for a month. There is very little data available defending the suspension of our youth sports, but we have heard stories after stories about the way it's hurting our kids. Everyone of us here and reps heard from our family, our friends, and neighbors about this issue. Parents are forced to watch their children suffer serious harm while government mandates create chaos in their young lives. They are seeing grades slip, kids suffering from isolation, and far too many signs of depression and other mental health struggles. Our children, my children, deserve better than this. Again, I urge the governor and the DHHS to put a stop to this ban and allow kids to get back in the game. I urge all of you to support this resolution, and thank you very much.
All right, are there any questions? Representative LeGrand.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We had some really good discussion about this last week, and Representative, you and I had some discussion on this. There's a real tension here because we really do want these athletes to be able to compete, and we really want them to be able to do it safely. You certainly are in favor of us having all appropriate safeguards in place for testing and whatever we can do here, correct?
Correct.
Have you thought about the possibility of prioritizing athletes for receiving vaccines? Because that might really help us move in the right direction here.
I haven't really got into the part because of their age and everything that I've read about it because a lot of these athletes are 16 and under, because my daughter is only 15 and I'm not willing to do that yet. Maybe do you have kids too? Mm-hmm. So I don't want to risk the chance yet for our young athletes, but if we can do a COVID test at 99.8%, which I would love that kind of return on my money, safety issues, like we've done that with the Michigan Health or Michigan High School Association, if they have a safe way to do it, we should be doing it.
My other question is this. Events have sort of overtaken us here. I mean, you probably saw in the news this morning, the governor is about to announce that she's going to do exactly what you're asking. You know that, right? So in 3 hours, she's going to have a press conference on this issue?
And Rep. LeGrand, I heard about this, right? But in my business, you got to make sure that we are. I don't believe hearsay. I like to see it with my own eyes. I'm not here to wait for the wrong person to say it's going to happen, and it doesn't happen, just like we did in our restaurants. Mm-hmm. We're going to open and we're not going to open and we're just going to continue down that. We need to make sure that we're out in front of this.
So I guess my question is, would you be open to simply delaying this resolution a week, since I think in 3 hours this is going to be moved?
No, I'm not.
Okay, thanks.
Yes.
And to that point, last week, Thursday, we were told, hey, I think governor's going to open things up. Last week, Friday, same thing. Saturday, the same thing. Eventually, we got to move ahead and just go forward. Representative Brixey has a question.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Representative, what do you think we need to be doing as a state to ensure that the youth sports, especially those that are indoors, are done in a safe manner? The fall sports were all outside, and this is our first experience with indoor sports.
So some of the stuff that we did back in Bay County was, even when the fall sports were in place, we actually listed the site where they were being streamed, and we watched a lot of them from our phones at our house, which was amazing. And I'm fine with whatever the MHSA comes up with to make it safe.
So but your resolution doesn't address that.
No, this resolution is to get it back open.
Okay, but it doesn't express how to do it in a safe manner.
Correct.
Okay.
All right, and just to clarify, not all fall sports were outside. Actually, a lot of them are still inside. All right, so I don't see any further questions. Representative Brixey, are you offering this amendment?
Yes, I am.
Would you like to speak to it, please?
Yes, I would. Thank you, Mr. Chair. My amendment would add a whereas clause stating that the legislature should immediately release all of the federal COVID-19 relief funding. Our schools really need this funding to implement their plans to safely reopen classrooms and, importantly, to fund the testing and other costs that will be incurred by resuming the sports. The governor will be lifting some of the guidelines to allow winter sports to resume and already called for the schools to reopen back in January. So right now, the only thing preventing all of that is the release of the full federal funding. So our districts have the resources they need to fund testing, testing, tracing, and everything else involved with reopening and resuming sports safely. And of course, I don't want to see Michigan become a donor state in regards to federal COVID funding. Therefore, I move my amendment.
All right, thank you, Representative. And good news for you, we are actually going to vote out some appropriations bills today, so I think you're going to be happy with that. I don't think that's necessary to be part of this, so I will be voting no. Madam Clerk, can we take the roll call vote on the amendment?
On the motion to adopt the amendment, Chair Johnson,
No.
Representatives Altman,
No.
Whittinga,
No.
Riley,
No.
O'Malley,
No.
Wozniak,
No.
Brixey,
Yes.
LeGrand,
Yes.
Young.
Yes.
Mr. Chair, you have 3 yeas, 6 nays, and no pass. With that, the amendment is not adopted.
All right, seeing no other amendments, would someone want to make the motion to report House Resolution 23? Representative O'Malley makes the motion. Madam Clerk, can you take the roll call vote?
On the motion to report the resolution, Chair Johnson,
Yes.
Representatives Altman,
Yes.
Whittinga,
Yes.
Riley,
Yes.
O'Malley,
Yes.
Wozniak,
Yeah.
Brixey,
No.
LeGrand,
No.
Young.
No.
Mr. Chair, you have 6 yeas, 3 nays, and no pass. With that, the resolution is reported with recommendation.
Thank you. All right, thanks for being here, Rep.
Thank you.